Hello dear students, in this video we are going to learn how to join table as we have done before. We have learned in the previous video, but how to join that on geographical data. So this is a practical example where we are going to make a map of Afghanistan and display some information that are available on the web. So there is a website that I had given you, but we are not going to focus in this video on how to access the data, just on how to join them. For this video, we are going to need three libraries that you have seen in the past. SF, which is so simple features used basically, let's say, for maps. ggplot, which is for plots, and dplyr, which is for the manipulation of tables. We load all of them. We can click on run or control enter. And now we have the two data we want to join or combine. One is really just data. So we have, because we want to read the data, what happens if does it work? You can say that we have an error. Why? If I do get wd, you can see that I am not in my repository. I must do set working directory. So set working directory means that now I can access, I am exactly where this code is, and in this repository I have organized my data so I can find them here. The consequence is that if I read the CSV now, it works. If I want to read now the geographical data, so the geographical data, it's more complex than the CSV, and you can find it in different types of files. Here you have GeoJSON, really widespread, really well known, really standard way of storing geographical data. You will find others, KMZ for instance. Whatever the format, there is always a way to open it. Using SF, we are able to read this file using the function stread. We read it, okay. And you can see that it says a bit more things. So I'm not going to go into detail about what we see. Here we see layer, driver, multi-polygon, VGS. This is all the information that, okay, basically this file is not empty. These are polygons, what we want. And it's latitude, longitude as we like. So far, so good. We want also, of course, to look at what is in the data. So here it's a big file about the literacy of young women. So we have the different indicators. You can see, by the way, that we don't just have Afghanistan. We have also many countries. The first one are here, Bolivia. Information that we don't necessarily care about, but that is here, like for instance, the years. And here we have one column, age group 15 to 19 years old, sex female. So this is the literacy rate. So this is so for one category of age, for another category of age, what are the proportion of women in percentage that are considered as literate. So these are the columns that we want to see on the map. If we look at the geographical data, it's a bit different, but still it's a table. We can recognize, for instance, here the names of some provinces. And then, so by the way, it's quite obvious in the names, prov, like provinces, 34, because there are 34 provinces in Afghanistan, and the districts. So the districts are like the sub-regions in provinces. So each provinces is split into districts. The country is split into provinces, and the provinces are split into districts. Some IDs that we don't necessarily care for now, and the polygons, this is where the geographical information is stored. We have seen that there are many information like Bolivia. We don't necessarily need all of that, so we are going to filter that. If you don't understand this, I refer you to the video about how to filter the data. So here you can see that we have a column called country. So what we can do is to do, okay, data, country, then we have a lot of them. Oh, let's read again so that you can see what did happen. There is a lot of them. If we do unique, then we have the list of all the countries you may be interested in. You just need to find the one you're interested in. So Afghanistan, make sure it's the right one. Okay, if you write small a, it's not going to work. So capital A, and then it works. See. Okay. So if we do that now, we can see in the data that we have only the country of Afghanistan, and really important now is the district, because we want to match the district or the provinces. We want to match the geography with the data. So how are we going to do that? If we look into this, you can see where is the information about the district or the provinces. We have something here, Nemrose, Zabul, Paktika, and it looks like it's the only one. If we look about this unique name of geography, see, okay, Kabul, Herat. So these are, it looks like they are Badakhshan. So these they are like the provinces. If we want to know how many of them, you can use length. So there are 34 of them. Of course, they need also to match the names in the provinces. So if, for instance, there is Badakhshan, it must be exactly the same. So this is in the geographic data, and this is in the Excel file data, and they must be the same. Fortunately, they are the same. Sometimes not. Take care. Sometimes not. So here, for instance, Badakhshan is here, Badakhshan is here, Ghazni is Ghazni. Okay, so they match, you see. So we can, for instance, test what happens if we filter. So we filter geography, and we want only the provinces of Herat. If we do that, you can see that we don't just have one object, we have 10 of them, which are the different districts. So we make the map of it. You can go back to the first videos on data visualization if you wonder how to do that. And if you run this, you can see that we have here the province of Herat. Okay, so it means that we need to join in this case two columns. We want to have the provinces here with name of geography. And if you remember the previous video, here we have two different columns. So we are going to use a left join, which means that we keep all the rows that are in geo, and we append data. How do we match these two? By saying that, okay, in geo, you are going to consider this one, this column, and in data, you're going to consider this one. Make really sure it's the same, okay? If you make any kind of mistakes, it's not going to work. So we say match these two tables and use as a key to match them these two columns. And if we do that, you can see that we have the same table as before, so with the information on the literacy, but on the top of that we have the geometry. How can we check that? So we are going to take the data we have created, and we are going to make a map of this geometry here. And you can see that you recognize the country with all the different districts. So now we want to have colors. That's really easy. If you go back to, I think, the third lecture of data visualization, we want to have the filling color that depends on one of these columns. So in our case, for instance, we are interested by the group of 15 to 19 years old. And the same, okay, it's small, but you can see that it works. We have the map of the country. Of course, we still see the district because each line is a district. But we can see the provinces. Each province has a color. This color can be understood thanks to this legend. So when the values are dark, it means that there are less educated women. So typically in the south here, it's much worse than, for instance, in the north or in the region of Kabul. And for these gray areas, you can see that sometimes we have NA. NA means, I don't know, not no data. Okay, so it happens. Missing data is something that you will face really often. The most important here is that, as you have seen, we were able to take two types of data that are really different. On one side, we have a map. On the other side, we have a table. We were able to match these two and to make a beautiful map. Of course, we can make this map even more beautiful, adding some colors, legend, axis, etc., which I invite you to do. Thank you.